I'll be doing a short overview of some of the features that we have on 1410 SMS. We have students portal for students, and then we have the parent portal for parents. Students log in with their admission number and password. Parents log in with their email and password. The same thing as staff. So staff covers teachers, accountants, school owners, principal, vice principal. We have so many staff roles that are available on the system. I'm logging in as a school owner. So when you log in, your dashboard will show you a brief overview of your school, the number of teaching staff, the number of students, number of parents, number of classes, and the revenue the school has generated in the particular session you are looking at. So it differs to the current active session, and you can also filter by the term or currency. So this is for the naira revenue that the school has made. This is total revenue so far this particular session. The total payments that have been received today, the outstanding fees, and then you have a percentage of from the total revenue the school is expecting, the percentage that the school has actually made. You can then also view for another currency if the school accepts multiple currencies. And this shows you the trend for the number of students the school have over time for every particular session or term. The academic performance shows the average of each class, and then this is where you can renew your subscription. You have the attendance overview that shows the current today's attendance rates, and then the classes that are yet to mark their own attendance. You can see it's depending on your user type, it gives you some tasks that you need to do, recent activities that has been done by all the staff on the platform. You come to students. This is where you manage your students. You can import students. Importing, you can download the templates. You fill in your student data, and then you import all the students instead of doing it one by one via the enroll students. And then if you want to promote students from one class to another, you can use this to move all the students or selected students in a particular class to another class. Let's say to grade 9, for example. Just click move student. And you can deselect any students that you don't want to move to the next class. And then you have the same thing for your teachers management. You can download a template and import it with the data of all your teachers. The system is going to automatically create an account for all of them. You can also have a teacher here manually. For other staff roles, accountant and co, you can do it from here. You just need to give them any role you want. If you have an academic coordinator, accountant, librarian, principal, receptionist, you can do all that from here. And you can view all the available roles and the permissions that each role have so that you can know what role to assign to who from here. So you can see accountant, these are the permission he has. The school owner have access to all every aspect of the platform. Uh, Parents management, the same thing. You can import parents, add the parents manually, and link parent to students. So you can link multiple students to one parent, and you can also link multiple parents to one student. Departments, subjects, this is where you manage your subjects in your school. Classes and timetable, you can add class, edit class. When you sign up, based on the type that you select while signing up, the system is going to generate class list for you based on the type of school. If you select that you're a secondary school, it will give you the classes for secondary schools. You are not restricted to that. You can actually edit that name if you don't want. And then you can also assign class teacher from here. When you view a class, you can set the timetable of the class. We are currently working on a timetable builder that will help the school automatically generate timetable. Once you have the classes subjects field, you can then use the builder to automatically generate timetable for all the classes. The same thing applies to the exam timetable. Then we also have a CBT module where you can create different CBT, add questions. You support images. You can add image to a question, multiple choice or true or false. Then each question can have its own number of marks. It differs to one. Grade types. These are the different kind of grades that you rate the students on their report card. Continuous assessment, maybe the assignment, practical examination, and then from the grade itself, you can add the grade for a particular child, or you can also bring this from an Excel sheet. So you add the grade for all your students and then you upload, or you do it one after the other. I'm seeing all students because I'm logged in as a school owner. A teacher will only be able to see, if I'm a chemistry teacher, for example, I will only see the classes and students that are taking chemistry, and then I can record their own grade. Say, in my chemistry class, this is the results of each of these children. The report card setup, this is where you can actually determine the psychomotor skills and the behavioral traits that you want to rate the students on. So if you don't like any, you can delete, you can create your own, and then it will show up on the report card where the teacher can actually rate the child. So this is the report card. You can view the report card of any student. Let's say Kelechi Obi. So the report card carries the branding of the school. The school can actually set their branding, so they get their name, the school motto, the address, phone number, email, the child's biodata, a breakdown of the academic performance. So it shows based on the rating that you configure yourself. You can see the breakdown, the remark, the highest score for that particular subject in that class, and the lowest score. This is for first term. If you're in second term, you'll be able to see the score of that particular child in the same subject in previous terms. So this is from attendance, the summary of the attendance of the child, and then the psychomotor skills, handwriting, all these things that you can actually rate the child on. The name of the class teacher will be set automatically the same with the name of the head of school. You can also configure this from settings, and you can edit the report card. You can This is where you can rate the child's psychomotor skills and behavioral traits. You can add your remark as a teacher. If you're logged in as a teacher, you won't see the head of school remark. But if you're a school administrator, you're a principal, you're a school owner, you get to see this. Then you can set the resumption date, which you also reflect on the report card. So the goal is just to show a brief overview of the features that we have, not to go in depth on each of the features. The early years, this is for children that, let's say, reception or play group. You also want to give them their own report. This is how you can do it from the early years. You can manage the template to actually add the developmental areas that you want to rate each of the children upon, and then you can also set the scale. If you don't want this one, you can delete them and add your own rating scale for each child. Attendance, this is where you mark attendance. Let's say grade 11, you have just one student is present, and then you save the attendance. You can export the absence report to see the students that are absent in a particular period, on this particular term and day. Attendance analysis gives you an overview of the attendance rate per class in the selected term and session, and then the best attendance, the needs attention. This is not populated yet because there is no much record on this particular demo account. But you get to see these most punctual students, the ones that are always available, that are always in school, and they are usually not late. The fee management, this is the finance workspace. When you come, you get an overview of the financial status of the school, the total amount the school is expecting, the total the school has collected, the outstanding amount, the number of invoices that are fully paid, those that are partially paid, and those that are unpaid. So you can see your collection rate. Out of what you are expecting, you've only been able to receive 58%. And then you can see the trend over the year. The collection by class, the classes that have grade 7, for example, many students in grade 7 have paid. Few of them are still owing. Grade 8, just few have paid. Those that are, so these are cut across all the classes. And then the revenue by type, when you on your invoice, when we get to invoicing, you can add different line items. One invoice can carry tuition fee, developmental levy, let's say there's transport, school uniform, and all that. So you can actually see how much you've made, what are they paying for. This is what this revenue by type is for. These ones are just overview, the most common payment methods. You can see if you have the rating at which people pay, the mode of payments that parents use the most. It won't be restricted to one. If there are other payment methods, let's say POS, it will show the total amount people have paid via this payment method. You can see an overview of the most recent payments that are pending verification, recent invoices, upcoming due invoices that will be due very soon. You can see them from here. Financial finance activity, any activity done on the platform that has to do with finance, you can see them here. And then if you come to the invoices, and this overview also applies to multiple currencies. This is in naira. If I want to show in US dollar, you click US dollar, and then the overview will change. So you can come to invoices. Even from the overview, you can create an invoice. So you have the option to create one invoice for one particular student, or you want to generate an invoice for multiple students in the same class. Perhaps their invoices are uniform. The invoices for all the students in that class is uniform. So you don't have to do it one by one. You can select the class, and the system will automatically check all the students in that class. If you want to omit any particular student, you can uncheck. You can set the currency of the invoice. It defaults to naira. You can set the due date, and then the items that you want to put on the invoice. Let's say tuition, the amount is, let's say, 500,000. Then we say developmental levy, for example, let's say 20,000. So this will be generated for all the students in this class. If you want to notify the parent, you click this. The parent will be notified on the channel that you configure in your settings, whether it is via email, via WhatsApp, or via push notification on the mobile app, or you want the notification to be sent via all these channels. If you don't click this, the parents will not be notified. If you click this, they will be notified. Then you can generate the invoice. So it generates invoice for all those students in that particular class. The total of the invoice is what? 520. So if yeah, this is 520, 520. Just two of them in that class. So you can view the invoice. So this is the breakdown of the invoice. You can download it as PDF. So this is what it looks like. Ideally, this will carry the school brand. It's carrying this because that is what I use as the school brand. Just carry the school logo, the name of the school. The background color will be based on the school's brand as well. This is just the breakdown. And then the payment details, where the parents can actually pay into the accounts they can pay into. This is also configurable when we get to settings. So then you have your payments. You can resend the invoice to the parents. You can send reminder if they are yet to pay. You can come here to actually record payments when they pay, and then let's say they send the money to your account. You can come to the invoice as well, record payments. So you've received, let's say you've received 100,000, not the full amount. You can set the payment method. You can put receipt number, or you let the system generate one for you. You can add any notes that you want, and then if you have like a picture to actually use as an evidence that the parent has actually paid, you can also upload it, and then they record the payment. So we'll be recording it against this invoice 005. So invoice 005, now they've paid 100,000, they are owing 75,000. The moment this is done, the parents get a receipt for the payment. So you can come here as well. You will see this is all the payments that are verified, all the payments on the system. And each payment you can actually download the receipt. You can resend the receipt to the parents if they request for it. You can click this, and then you can upload an evidence for this particular payment, or you want to void the receipt. Perhaps it was a mistake. This is also possible. And when you are adding, sorry, I forgot to mention, you can generate an invoice for the children of a particular parent. So the invoices on the system will still be created per student, but the invoice PDF that will be sent to the parent will be just one invoice that will contain the breakdown for all the children of the parents in the school. Messaging, this is where you can send bulk messages via email, WhatsApp, or both email and WhatsApp to either all parents or parents of children in a particular class or individual parents. Academic setup, this is where you can set your current session and term. By default, you get first, second, and third term. If you don't use this term, you can actually edit it and use your own alias. And this is what we apply to your school all across the platform. This is where you can set the current academic calendar. Once you've added, once you add a session, the session gets shown here. Then you can decide to say, okay, once you move to second term, for example, you click on set current, and that will be your current term and session across the platform. The school profile, this is where you can upload your school logo, change the school name if you want, and every other data about your school. Custom domain, if you don't want to use .1410sms.com, instead of having, let's say your school name is ABC College, instead of having abc.1410sms.com, you want to have portal.abccollege.com, you can do it from here, but you have to be on either the scale or enterprise plan. Your subscription, you can see your current plan. Settings, you can set the grading scale for your school here. You are not restricted to the default. You can edit, you can delete. The communication, you can set the channels that you want parents to be communicated via, depending on the kind of notification. So for example, exam timetable, I set it should only go via WhatsApp. Every other one should go via all the channels. You have this option. Early years, you can also configure the early years rating scale from here. The fees, this is where you can select how often you want parents to be reminded when their invoice is overdue. So I said 7 and 14 days. That is 7 days after the due date of the invoice, they will get a reminder. 14 days after, they will also get a reminder. As for the email reminder, you can actually configure it yourself using these placeholders, and you can write whatever you want to write. You cannot use any other placeholder apart from these ones. But mind you, this applies only to email. For the WhatsApp message, we have to use a pre-configured meta template, a WhatsApp template. We cannot just send any message. It has to be something we've written, the templates, they've approved it before we can use it. And the audit log, as a school owner, you can see all the activities that have happened on the platform, who did what, at what time, what actually did they do, what does the data look like previously, and what does it look like now after they've made the change. So you can see this is the details of this particular user before, and then after the update was done, this is now the details of the user. So this is just a brief overview. We are still working on a couple of features like the staff attendance. This is binding upon our mobile app. Staff attendance, teachers lesson notes. working on that. Like I mentioned previously, the timetable generator for weekly timetable and exam timetable. We're also working on a learning module where teachers can actually upload learning materials and then make it available for selected classes, and those students will have access to it. So if you I have a particular module that you want me to go in depth upon, I'm very available to do this. But we are also planning to actually explain each of the modules, go in depth about them. But this is just a brief overview. Thank you very much.